Well, it's been a little while since we did a video, so I've been pretty busy back at work, so I haven't had much chance. Did manage to get some painting in. I'm going to set up a little sort of set dressing sort of pieces to sit at the back of armies and things like that. To go something with my Empire army, I've decided to do like a recruitment Paymaster or whatever, which way I think he's more or less going away the Paymaster. I wouldn't fancy being recruited by somebody holding a bloody big sword. So there's a bit of a mix of figures. These are old Battle Masters figures. These two guys, they'll stand at the back behind the Paymaster, and obviously these are just standard old Empire militia. Pretty much used for Mordheim. Chest off the artillery set. Can't remember actually where I got this from. So I don't, but it's all the little bits and pieces out of the scrap box, and a scratch built table out of coffee stirrers and some basically old matches. So to make this quick and easy, because I haven't had a lot of time to do a lot of stuff, I'm actually going to be trying something new. I'll just move these guys to one side. And what I'm actually going to look at is Geek Gaming Scenics, their base ready sets. So this is Patchy Plains. This is a set I picked up, and obviously I'm going to see what it actually, if it does what it says in the videos. Basically covering the base, and like a quick around PVA glue and things like that. Stuffing a lot of this stuff on top of it, leaving it to sit and dry, and then come back. And I've also got their sealant for Scenics, so we're going to give it a squirt over as well. Let's see if they work. Alright. One of the main reasons actually I started to use this stuff is I'm now a stockist of their stuff, so yeah, I am. It's not plugging the product, but it's also just basically out of necessity to try and speed up the process, and rather than trying to do about 20 different layers of things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a load of glue. Right. If I can remember where I put it. And not drop it. Get a load it onto the base. Obviously give it a squish around. One little brush. Should have been probably better off using a bigger brush, but anyway. I get a nice good thick coat on it. Some people are wondering if you're using a bit of card, it'll warp like crazy. I've been a bit sneaky. I've actually given it a coat of matte varnish, so a lot of PVA glue will not actually soak in and warp the cardboard. Hello, famous last words, you probably well know my look. That's everything basically given a good, really good heavy coat. Leave that to sit for a sec. So what I'm going to do is just open this up. And basically just sprinkle it over the top. So hopefully this will work. Very tasty. Get a bit of a shake around. It's probably not the most ideal set to use, but it's the one I had on hand at the minute. I got that quite over quite quickly. Because the setting for this particular piece can be sort of anywhere. Like it's the Empire in Warhammer, so So as you can see, it generally just gives you everything you need in one bag. You've got all your small stones, larger stones, sand, flock, everything else, just to give you that sort of all-in-one sweep. Obviously, we've been touching it, put a bit more on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that to dry, tip it off, and see how it actually looks, and see if we need to patch it up or anything with it. And then we'll come back, we'll do that when I come back on the second piece, and then we'll see how the sealant works. So I'll basically just spray this on to seal everything. I've never used this product before, so it'll be quite interesting. So, yep, let that dry and we'll come back and see what happens. Okay, we left it to soak overnight, just to be on the safe side. So obviously, as with most things, you always go with some loose stuff. You know, this is not an exact science how to do this, so just get a couple of bits off the edge. So, oops, get off. Just a few loose pieces on it. So, quite happy about it. It's actually got quite a large amount of stuff. I might actually take some of them off before I spray. Just let's see if we can. It affects it. Yeah, well, might affect the placement of things or just the way I set it. Well, that might work. So you get the general idea. So that'll be the general sort of rough idea of it. So what we're going to do, I'm going to crack open the sealant. I've never used this before, so stop covering what it is. We've got the sealant from Geek Gaming as well. So not too sure how much you need to use in this. Do you use a little? Do you use a lot? Or you just go for it? So I'm just going to go for it and see what happens. And make sure everything's got a good soak. And it makes a funny noise, so that's me happy. So what we'll do again, we'll just leave that there, see what happens, and we'll just leave it to dry. Once it looks like it's dry, come along and see if it actually has done the job and nothing else falls off, and we'll go from there. And we'll get the figures glued on. Right, everything seems to be dry. Pretty much. Now what I like about the sealant is, there's not really anything really coming off. What I always find with larger bases and stuff like that, unless you glue them down individually or pour lots and lots of glue over the top of them, the larger boulders always come out. I pulled one out earlier and actually had to get a pair of pliers just to see how strong it was. So yeah, it's all very well held in. There's just a couple of pieces has come off. And that's from where I actually had to go around and touch up the edge a little bit and stuff. And I've seemed to have managed to miss most of the warping. So, just to finish off, obviously I have to go over a few bits and pieces of the corners and stuff, because being impatient and checking it every 5 minutes isn't the way forward. So we need to figure out kind of where we want things to go. Bit of glue. So I'll do it this way so it just doesn't that tons of super glue leak all over the place. Okay. Our little friendly Paymaster. He's definitely not a recruiting sergeant, that's for sure. He looks a bit too unhappy. So a little bit of glue on him and his feet. I want him positioned, and that's a bit better. Get the pay book down. I actually have trying to find something I can actually use as coins in very, very small, but I haven't actually got anything yet. So I'm still working on that. Of course, the pay chest. Trying not to glue my fingers to the pieces. Now the black and red livery on these guys is based on my Empire army, which is from Karabberg. Very famous for the great sword unit, and yes, I have one, because why not? I've got a chance to work on my old Warhammer stuff for a while. See if I can get him a bit more closer to the edge. Hurrah! Okay. I'll do the first man to come up and sign for his pay. At least I want to sit the way I want him. That's really my. Okay. Not too sure I want the last guy. It's supposed to form a naughty queue in some respects. I'll do it rightly. So, the last of the super glue. Actually helps cover that corner a little bit. Excuse me. So there you have the Paymaster. And what have you. Obviously it can be used, the groundwork is basically quite useful for most things. It can be used in the middle of the field, at the back. Stick a building in. And you've got them standing outside the local tavern. Please ignore the World War II in the background. So there you have it. So the groundwork itself is from obviously our little friends at Geek Gaming Scenic, and obviously I used their patchy plates and also their Scenic sealant. So yeah, pretty good products. I quite like them. Makes the basing a lot quicker and easier. So you're not trying to do like 3 or 4 different things. You just put some PVA down and basically pour the stove over the top, leave it to dry. That's everything done in one fell swoop. So very good for that. Gonna see if I can actually use it in some more larger terrain pieces. But check the links below. Check for them, and obviously check a few other bits and pieces. Links it's there for their kind of stuff. And hopefully if you do like this, thumbs up, and also if you want to, so please do subscribe. Cheers now.